There is obviously a long tradition of this history and also historical romances with characters who are women at the beginning and then like, go undercover as men for various reasons. Sometimes it's not in armies, but often it is. And so it's a trope that we've seen. There's real history behind it. And then we also have a more modern understanding that people's gender is different from the sex that they're born with, and that perhaps some of these instances in real history might have been, people finding a new gender identity. I was curious, as you approached the story, how did you think about it with our modern gaze looking into this historical phenomenon?
I've struggled and thought about this a lot because I conceive of Charlie as a character who in our modern parlance would identify as something along the non-binary spectrum because she's really, really deeply uncomfortable with the things she's being asked to do as a woman with marriage and child. Like she's deeply does not want to have children. And she really doesn't want to be in the domestic sphere. Like none of the things that are expected of her are things that she wants to do. But she also, on the other hand, doesn't really have an enormous amount of like gender dysphoria in terms of her body. She's fairly comfortable in her own skin. She feels like her body is a liability for her. And so it's been really, I really, really love gender dynamics, gender roles. This is something that I come back to again and again in my books because it is clearly something I need to write about. So I think for her, that builds across the story and throughout the first book, and then also in the second book, she really has to think about who she is and what she wants and who she wants to be, not just in the army or in this war, right? She's using a lot of her deeply held beliefs about morality and humanity and justice to justify going into the army. But once she gets there, she feels like herself and she
Mm,
can speak her mind in ways that she wasn't able to before, and she finds a great deal of freedom in that.
yeah.
And that's really interesting. That's been super interesting to explore and to think about. And I try to do it as sensitively as I can because we all have different, like so many different people have so many different experiences with gender. And
Mhm.
so this is one.